This segment of Naperville Sports Weekly is brought to you in part by the Daily Herald.
Well, Metea Valley boys water polo coach Tom Mush, we're here at the pool right now. You guys opened your season earlier this week against St. Charles East. What were some things you were kind of able to see from your team with the limited practice time you guys have had so far?
Our swimming ability is much better than it's been in the past, and our attitude as far as getting back on defense was better. There was times in the game they could have scored a lot more goals. They did get a jump on a number of our players at times, but our guys just worked really hard to get back in time to take some of those advantages they had away. They scored 13 goals, 7 of them were on the fast break advantages, so we didn't do as well as we would have liked to there, but it's early in the season and we hope to get better in that respect.
You were telling me earlier kind of about the story of when you guys started this thing here, having only 7 players at a JV level, none really having water polo experience. Fast forward to where we are now, how far has this program come?
Quite a long ways. I mean, at least we're not just getting totally killed by teams that aren't any good. The water polo in the entire state of Illinois is much, much better than it used to be. The sectional tournament in our area right here, the quality of those games are as good or better than what the state championship games used to be. Mm-hmm. So if you're playing here and you're the worst team in the area, you're still pretty good. Now, we're the worst team in the area right now, and I'm not sure how much better we have to be before we start beating some of those other people. We have a ways to go, and we're probably at least a year away. I mean, looking at who we have and who's going to be returning next year, we're only going to graduate 2 players, and everybody else should come back and really gain a lot from this year. I mean, the kids last year learned a lot. And there's a lot of things you just can't teach. They have to be in games and learn them.
You've been coaching, water polo in this area for quite some time now. How much have you kind of seen things change once it became an official high school sport about 10, 12 years ago?
The team we have at Metea right now probably would have been one of the best teams in the area at that point in time. Just because they know a little bit about water polo. Like I said, it's huge how much the improvement's been in the area, and so our guys have no idea how much they have already learned and know because they're just measured against such a high standard. I coached swimming for a long time, and the nice thing about swimming and events like track is that everybody can be a winner. One of our water polo players was nowhere near the state cut in swimming, and he just missed it in the 500 free, mm-hmm. By just a couple of tenths of a second. He's a winner, okay? That's not true when you have game sports. Football, volleyball, basketball, not everybody can win. And so that's a different thing for our participants.
We've seen Metea Valley boys swimming kind of make a jump this year, 4th in the sectional in a very, very tough sectional earlier this winter. Expect maybe the kind of same jump here from Metea Valley water polo, maybe not this year, but like you were saying earlier, a little bit here down the road?
At some point in time, I'd like to think so. The boys that are swimming have a lot of swimming experience. They've been involved since they were 8 or 9 years old. We have one player that's been involved in water polo since he was 8 or 9 years old. And, I think we figured last year you give him 8 years of credit, and our other players like 1 year apiece, and we had 16 years of experience. And most of the teams we were playing were putting like 80 to 100 years worth of experience into the pool. So since that is such a key part of our improvement, it's going to take longer than it would for swimming, but the swimming did have the experience coming in. So,
what kind of style do you kind of hope this team plays here over the course of the year? On both ends of the pool.
Defense, they're just going to need to improve on individual defense. They showed yesterday they can hustle back, and we're headed in the right direction there. Teaching water polo, there's kind of like 3 phases that the first one is just being able to throw and catch the ball. We're maybe still in that phase a little bit. The second one is learning how to move through the pool, and without a lot of practice, away from games. Just a couple of weeks just to move, and learn where to go. It's really hard to pick that up, and that's something that we need a lot, is how to move. And since we're already playing games and we don't have many practice days, and that's not the glamorous part that they like to do in practice, it's probably going to take longer than it should. But normally, if you have the time, it takes a year to get through that phase. And once they learn to move a lot and where to go when they're moving, then you can start to add in making your reads and how it affects. Essentially, every player is a quarterback. They've got to read the field. They've got to see who they can pass to, and then when you're getting passed to, you're a receiver. You got to make sure you're moving, and so there's quite a bit. It's. I guess the comparison is, and we're definitely above this, is when you watch 8-year-old kids play soccer, they all chase the ball, and we're not at that level. We're definitely well above that, but we're not above. We're still at young kids level, and last year we gave them a lot to learn. More than they could possibly learn, which is really tough on them because you're in some ways setting them up to fail. If you know that they can only learn this much, and you give them twice that amount to learn, then you're kind of setting them up for failure. But by doing that, they learned a whole lot more than they would have. They worked hard to come up to those expectations, and you can't blame them for not achieving the impossible.
Zach McLaren and Cameron Weber, a couple of the guys that have had some of the preseason honors so far for your team this year. I know Zach's still doing some club swimming. Cameron with you guys right now. What exactly do those guys kind of bring to the table for you?
Cameron has a lot of experience. So the things that we're talking about as far as being able to read the field and make it, that's second nature to him. Only him. All right, nobody else has that. They're getting little bits of it last year, and this is going to be a key year for them. It depends how quickly they can learn some of that. Zach just brings some athleticism. He hasn't played enough water polo for it to be second nature, but he kind of does a number of things well enough that he got some recognition. So it'll be good to have him and getting more game experience. Last year, we didn't have 30 games at the varsity level, and a player can play 30 games. So once he showed up, he played a lot of JV games and then got out the pool and got right in afterwards and played the varsity game because he was totally inexperienced, and it paid off, and that people recognized him at the end of the year.
Who are a couple of these up-and-comers that, maybe, they're still learning the game a little bit, but you expect to maybe see some big strides from this year?
Let me just look. All of our sophomores, pretty much. David Roke's one that really came on last year. Alex Walters, another one that did like the summer before he got into high school. So he doesn't have just one high school season his freshman year. He's got a little bit more than that. Those are some people I'm just trying to say. I know Alex Vass is one that when we didn't have anybody that was a natural goalie last year, stepped up and went into the goal. Christian is is starting off as our goalie this year, mainly because Alex Vass swims so much. He's the one that just missed going to the state meet in his swimming, and he takes it very personal, and he's very aggressive. In some ways, we need to work on his skills, not his aggressiveness. So it's we've got some good people for, to start off, and like I said, most of them are going to be back next year. One that's done a great job as far as leadership is where is he? Alex Gidlow. Alex Gidlow is one. He doesn't get a lot of recognition in the game. He's more of a team player, but he's one that's getting, for warm-ups, is taking direction, and really has been a leader. If you go out when you leave and look in the hallway, he's got a lot of our leadership awards for both swimming and water polo. So.
You talked about the strength of the teams in this area when it comes to boys water polo. Obviously, Naperville Central, Naperville North, and Equa all at the top year in, year out. It seems like all those teams come together this weekend at that Naperville area kickoff tournament, you guys included. What exactly do you guys look to get out of that when playing those 4 games?
Well, since they're better than we are, they will put in their second or third string teams against us. And you really don't learn and get better when you either win easily or you're just dominated in the game. Nobody benefits from that. So they will use those games as a chance for their weaker players to learn. And by doing that, it helps their team and it helps ours. All 3 of those teams could probably dominate us this weekend, and at the end of the year, they would do that. If you're played them in the sectional, now's not the time to get better. The time is to show everybody how good you are.
Definitely. Well, Tom, we appreciate you letting us come by. The action in the pool seems to just be heating up. We'll let you get back to it.
Okay, thank you very much.